I think it would be nice to know that you're definitely negative before you go home.
Students on one college campus are calling for exit COVID-19 tests ahead of the Thanksgiving and holiday break so they can keep everyone at home safe.
Promising news about a coronavirus vaccine as President-elect Biden details his plan to battle the health and economic impacts of the virus.
Coming up, a warning from a local woman who hired a company that never finished their job, and now her backyard looks like this.
From the station working for you, this is WRTV News at 5, streaming now.
Now, first at 5, as COVID-19 cases continue to increase across the state, more than 4,000 new cases reported today. There is a concern college students heading home for Thanksgiving and the end of the semester could spread it to their family.
WRTV's Megan Sanctorum reports what schools in our area are doing to mitigate the spread and why some Butler students have started a petition.
Campus will soon be a lot quieter as the fall semester comes to an end and students get ready to head back home to their families.
You drop your keys off and you leave.
But some students here at Butler University say they're nervous to hit the road without being tested for COVID-19.
And I just want to make sure that I'm safe to other people. For me personally, I'm in the age group where I'm not really worried about getting it myself, but I don't want other people who I live around and who are my family members to get it from me.
I have family members who work in the hospital, and I think it would be nice to know that you're definitely negative before you go home.
A spokesperson for Butler said they'll continue their symptomatic and asymptomatic testing through the end of the fall semester. But as of now, there are no plans for specific exit testing.
We already got tested coming, so it would be nice to get it on the way home because you would think they would want to be safe about that too.
There's a petition going around basically to sign whether to say that you do want exit testing. So I know I've signed it and it's kind of circulated around campus.
The student petition says other schools are providing exit testing. One of them is Indiana University.
Next week, we will stop mitigation testing and convert to departure testing.
Leaders at IU say the departure or exit test will not be required, but it is recommended for all students, faculty, and staff.
We've left a significant amount of capacity available so that we can do all of that testing. Hopefully get results back reasonably quickly and allow people to know exactly what's going on before the semester ends.
And students here at Butler say if they can't get tested through their school, they'll go elsewhere.
I might do just one at Walgreens or something like that.
Working for you, Megan Sanctorum, WRTV.
A spokesperson for Butler said they are aware of the student petition and they are increasing student testing through the end of the semester. Now to today's numbers. The State Health Department reports an additional 4,213 positive cases. Those results recorded on Saturday and Sunday. Positivity rates continue to climb, 11.8% overall in people who have just been tested once. 18.6% is the 7-day rate between October 27th and November 2nd. The state reports 34 more deaths of people with COVID. The statewide total is now at 4,418. And as more schools shift to hybrid or virtual learning, today we received the latest numbers on the coronavirus in schools. The numbers are reported every Monday. Positive cases in students is up by 1,572. Those results were recorded between September 21st and Friday. The reporting period for teachers and staff is a little shorter. Teachers are up by 319 and staff 380. We remind you this is not a complete picture. 424 schools have not reported their numbers to the state.
In the race to produce a safe and effective vaccine, some very promising news. Pfizer announced today that its vaccine prevented more than 90% of infections in a study of tens of thousands of volunteers. This comes on the same day the coronavirus cases in the U.S. surpassed 10 million, and daily infections have surged more than 60% over 2 weeks. Pfizer still needs more safety data and FDA emergency authorization used for the most at-risk people, the elderly and frontline workers. Former CDC Director Dr. Richard Besser said this could mean a vaccine would be widely available as early as next summer. The news about Pfizer's results sent the stock market soaring. The Dow jumped 1,500 points in early trading today. When the market closed, it had settled to an 800-plus point climb. At just over 29,000, the S&P 500 finished up 1.2%. Today, President-elect Joe Biden addressed the nation, unveiling his plan to battle the health and economic impacts of the coronavirus pandemic. ABC's Rena Roy has the latest from Wilmington, Delaware.
We can get this virus under control, I promise you.
President-elect Joe Biden hitting the ground running even before being sworn into the job. Just 2 days after his historic win, Biden revealing his strategy to turn around the impacts of the coronavirus pandemic.
We'll follow the science. We'll follow the science. Let me say that again. We can rebuild our economy back better than it was before.
Alongside his new 13-member coronavirus task force, he says he'll double the number of coronavirus testing sites and boost contact tracing, call on governors to mandate masks, and look at racial disparities with the virus. Former Surgeon General Vivek Murthy, former FDA Commissioner David Kessler, and Dr. Marcela Nunez-Smith of Yale University will lead the group.
This group will advise on detailed plans built on a bedrock of science.
Today, Pfizer announcing early results of its phase 3 vaccine trial, reporting the vaccine to be more than 90% effective in protecting recipients from getting infected. Biden acknowledging the good news, but still warning of a dark winter ahead, saying the drug likely won't be widely available for months to come, urging each and every American to do what we know works now.
It doesn't matter your party, your point of view. We can save tens of thousands of lives if everyone would just wear a mask for the next few months.
Meantime, President Trump is still defiant over the election results, tweeting today he had fired Secretary of Defense Mark Esper, also vowing to continue filing long-shot legal challenges, almost all of which have been rejected by the courts. The Trump team and their supporters making unfounded claims of voter fraud without providing evidence. The Republican Lieutenant Governor of Georgia, a state where Biden holds a narrow lead, telling CNN there has been no sign of voter fraud in the battleground state.
You know, at this point, we've not seen any sort of credible examples.
Votes are still being counted there, as well as in North Carolina and Arizona. Meantime, the president's campaign is planning to file even more legal challenges today. Rena Roy, ABC News, Wilmington, Delaware.
Well, tonight, many national Republican leaders say the president should be given time to file his legal challenges before saying that the race is over. WRTV's Rafael Sanchez questions our political insiders on the presidential controversy.
Late this afternoon, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, for the first time speaking out on this presidential election, saying that President Trump is within 100% of his rights to the legal challenges. Joey FOXX, what's going to happen in this situation?
Well, if there are legal challenges to be made, they need to be made in court. They need to be made in a manner that expresses the evidence that supports those claims, and they need to be adjudicated quickly so this can be wrapped up.
Disappointed, but not surprised that more folks within the Republican Party haven't stood up and followed the lead of George W. Bush, Mitt Romney, and a number of other folks who have congratulated President-elect Biden and encouraged that the country heal and we get him in the right direction.
The numbers are just pretty insurmountable to be able to make a difference. So, the right thing to do here is to say, I didn't get the votes, and move forward so the country can move forward.
It's the theater of the absurd, and I'm laughing about it, but it really is doing a disservice to the United States of America.
So Joe Biden today held his first COVID-19 task force. Significant or PR stunt? Kip 2.
Well, it's obviously significant. I mean, it's the number one health threat in our country. It's maybe the number one health threat we've ever faced in our country. It's a critical problem. We're setting records day after day here in the state of Indiana. We're probably going to have to go back down and close some schools and go to it if people are being serious about it, doing the things that we did back in March. Of course, it's not a publicity stunt. And the people that he put on the panel, it's not President Trump's doctor.
It's significant in that he's going to be president of the United States on January 20th. When he takes the oath, he's got to be prepared and have the information that he needs in order to make decisions for the good of the country and around the world. So it's both significant and a PR stunt.
These are our political insiders. Thank you so much. And our Democracy 2020 continues right now on WRTV.com.
Tonight, police are investigating a shooting that left a child wounded on the north side. We are told the victim was only 9 years old and that the child is stable at a hospital right now. Police were called just before 10 this morning to a home on Racket Club North Drive. That's near I-465 and Ditch Road. So far, all police have told us that the 9-year-old was shot. They have not released any information about what led to that gunfire. When we get more details, we'll have that all at WRTV.com. We could soon know the results of the Drejon Reed shooting investigation. WRTV Investigates has learned Metro police officers have been alerted that the grand jury reviewing Reed's shooting death may release its findings as early as today. Reed was shot and killed following a police chase that turned into a foot chase on May 6th. Metro police say Reed shot at police while the Reed family legal team denies that. We will bring you developments as soon as they come in at WRTV.com.
Tonight, a woman is warning others about a tree care business she says took her money and never finished the job. WRTV's ALYSSA Donovan explains what happened and how to ensure something like this doesn't happen to you.
Back in July, a storm caused tree damage in Glenda Chambers' backyard. The company she hired still hasn't finished the project, and now they're not responding. Glenda Chambers is frustrated after spending hundreds of dollars to a company she says never finished the work they agreed to.
I've called and texted and stuff, and I'm not getting any response from them.
Thank you for calling us here at Twisted Timber.
We also tried to get a hold of that company, calling them around a dozen times over 2 weeks, leaving messages, even knocking on the door of the business address listed. But no response. Chambers' yard is still a mess. Back in July, a storm ripped down parts of a big tree in the backyard and caused damage to several others. Shortly after, she called Twisted Timber Tree and Landscape. The company had gone door to door passing out business cards last year.
When they came and they quoted me, and I thought that sounds like a good price, and they were ready to start right now. And so you agree right now, we'll start right now.
This specific company only has one complaint on the Better Business Bureau website. However, the BBB says the tactic of starting work right away is one they have seen with other contractors in the past.
We call them storm chasers. They'll come along and they will say, hey, I'll pick up your trees or take care of your damaged trees, ask for money up front, and then they never come back and actually do the job. So that's probably the one that we see the most out there.
The contractor with Twisted Timber did not ask for the full amount up front, instead taking an initial $700 down payment, which Chambers felt was reasonable. She signed a handwritten contract breaking down the work to be completed for a final total of $2,000. The agreement did not specify when work needed to be done.
They did the trimming of the branches off of the fence, and the one branch that was going over my wires, they cut that back about 3 feet.
Over a 3-day period, the contractor and his workers cleaned up some branches and cut down one of the 2 trees agreed upon for removal, leaving the tree laying across Chambers' yard. At one point, she paid them another $500 in cash. After that, she says she never heard from them again. Out $1,200 and the work incomplete, Chambers started looking into the company, finding a handful of negative reviews on Google and a D+ rating from the Better Business Bureau earned from a single complaint. Chambers then filed her own report with the Better Business Bureau. I'm ALYSSA Donovan, WRTV.
Well, the Better Business Bureau recommends you should ask your contractor if they are licensed and bonded no matter what. They also say it's okay to make a down payment, but never pay the full amount up front. And do your best to find reviews about the company before hiring them.
Coming up on the news at 5:30, the jobs crisis caused by the COVID-19 pandemic continues. We will show you how one central Indiana company is trying to connect Hoosiers with employers who are committed to their health and safety.
And still ahead here at 5 o'clock, the Hoosiers are making some noise among the country's best college football teams. See how IU's latest win has propelled them to new heights. Kevin.
Mark, blue on the weather map means cold temperatures. The end is near for our record run of temperatures. Details straight ahead.
All Hiring Hoosiers keeps you informed of all kinds of opportunities to help you find work. And this week, WRTV is teaming up with the Indiana Black Expo for a job fair. The virtual Hiring Hoosiers Employment Opportunity Fair is Thursday. It runs from noon until 4. Multiple companies are taking part, including FedEx, First Merchants Bank, Indianapolis Airport Authority, Lowe's, and more. For more info and to sign up, go to hiringhoosiers.com.
The college basketball season will be starting soon, but in Bloomington, the buzz is all around the IU football program. The Hoosiers have won their first 3 games, and for the first time, they can call themselves a top 10 team. Indiana is ranked number 10 this week in the Associated Press Top 25. It is the highest mark ever for IU football. Saturday saw the Hoosiers defeat Michigan 38-21. That ended a 24-game losing streak to the Wolverines. Here's IU head coach Tom Allen talking today about the growth of his team so far.
But man, just to be able to do that, you know, in that setting, in that type of game, was an awesome feeling. It was a great testament to where our program is headed, and it's the weight room, it's the mentality, it's the toughness, it's the grit, it's the fight, and it's the finish. And that to me is what you have to win games like that have eluded us for so many years.
IU goes to Michigan State for their next game. You can watch it right here on WRTV Saturday at noon. The Hoosiers trying to go 4-0 in the Big Ten for the first time ever. We'll also have Notre Dame on Saturday at 3:30. The Fighting Irish are number 2 in the poll after beating top-ranked Clemson. It is a short week for the Colts after Sunday's loss to the Ravens. They'll head to Nashville to take on the Titans Thursday night. The team announced today the time for the next home game on November 22nd against the Packers has been moved from 1 o'clock to 4:25 p.m. A limited number of tickets are still available. The Colts are allowing up to 12,500 fans to be in attendance at Lucas Oil Stadium.
Leaf pickup is underway in Indianapolis. Today is the first day that DPW crews started picking up all the bags of leaves you've been raking and bagging. The leaf pickup program will run through December 4th. You can put out up to 40 bags on your regular trash day. They would like you to put the leaves in plastic bags because paper bags deteriorate and break apart in wet weather. Keep the bags at least 3 feet away from your regular trash. This is the best way to get rid of your leaves. It is illegal to burn them in Marion County. And Kevin, it was a good weekend to be outside and rake those leaves. It may not have been fun, but at least it felt good.
Say great weekend.
Great weekend.
It was
there you
79.
go. It was perfect. I loved it.
79 yesterday, 78 today. And my favorite thing to say is leaf it at the curb. Just push those leaves toward the curb and then they pick them up for you in those plastic bags because we do have some rain on the way. Well, we talked about Bloomington and their success on the football field. Tremendous weather for some great games, and you can see the glow on the horizon there. We've had some clouds rolling through. As Amanda said, we followed up yesterday's great weather with more great temperatures. A record today, despite the fact that we had to battle the clouds that you just saw. We still made it to 78, which means we get historical credit. Okay, next 24 hours through tomorrow night, we stay warm. Thunderstorms late tomorrow night into the early overnight, a pencil thin line. I'll show that to you in a second, but that will open the door and change the way you dress. It'll open the door to the much cooler temperatures for Wednesday and the rest of the week. Almost looks like a crown, except for it's a little lopsided there as you look at the bar graph, the up and down. We're up tomorrow. We're basically down the rest of the week, down closer to average. The cold front sits to the northwest. It's my job to make sure we're not surprised by anything. That's why we're talking about these colder temperatures. Just getting back to average or a little below average will seem cold because we've been so far above. For us, that chance of rain will mark the transition tomorrow night. All in the 70s now, all is good. If you want to get out this evening, take a walk. Even after sunset, temperatures will stay very mild. The low temperature tonight, unlikely to drop below 60 in many spots. That's above our average high. Notice tomorrow, back in the mid-70s, clouds will increase. Chance of thunderstorms increase tomorrow night. From north to south, everybody has one more day to enjoy temperatures that are nearly 20 degrees above average for this time of year. Right now, the threat for strong storms sits to our west. I wouldn't be surprised if they pushed out a little more to the east during the day tomorrow. Out ahead of the cold front, it's going to be windy anyway. any additional wind from thunderstorms could bring some damaging wind, but I think that'll be very isolated, and this will be a quick moving weather system. It won't take hours to get through here. The impact will be immediate. The temperature will fall, and you'll find a coat for Wednesday. For the rest of the week, temperatures do bounce back a bit on Sunday with another rain chance.
Kevin, thank you. Still ahead on the news at 5, coronavirus eliminating some artists from Wednesday's CMA Awards. Who will be at home watching instead of performing? Coming up.
Country music's biggest night is just days away. The CMA Awards airs live from Nashville Wednesday night here on WRTV. But we already know of 2 artists who won't be performing due to COVID-19. It is a different setup this year due to coronavirus. Fans will not be in attendance. Only the nominees, performers, and their guests. But 2 artists will be missing. Lee Brice has tested positive for coronavirus. He received 2 nominations and was scheduled to perform. His representative said he's in good spirits, not experiencing any symptoms, and quarantining at home. We also learned today that Vocal Duo of the Year nominee Tyler Hubbard of Florida Georgia Line will miss the show due to COVID-19. He posted a note on Instagram saying he's asymptomatic and quarantining on his bus outside his home. The Country Music Association said in a statement that while it is disappointing that both artists won't perform, it's a sign their COVID-19 precautions are working. The 54th Annual CMA Awards are Wednesday night here on WRTV from 8 to 11. The show will be broadcast live from the Music City Center in Nashville, Tennessee, and hosted by Reba McEntire and Darius Rucker. The pandemic impacts all of us in one way or another, and tonight we take a closer look at how this latest COVID-19 surge is affecting local healthcare workers. We will show you what they are dealing with tonight at 6. And there's an app for just about everything still ahead on the news at 5:30, the one that's helping connect Hoosiers with jobs and helping them stay safe.